fellow photographer, how's it going? I'm Michael Zelbel. Today I would like to show you a Onelight setup, a setup with just one speed light, and it will look like you use many more lights and are shooting in a very posh studio, but you actually don't. Now what we are going to have a look at today is the classic clamshell lighting. This clamshell look is something which a lot of people really love, and currently it's getting very popular again in all sorts of magazines. So typically this is done with 3 to 4 light sources when you are shooting it professionally in a studio, but we will use just exactly one and it will do just as fine. Our subject today is model Freda.
Hello.
And she is ideal for that. She's not only looking stunningly beautiful, but she is also someone who is pretty skinny, very skinny, and she has got strong facial features. And that is ideal for us to demonstrate this the quality of this particular lighting setup, because one of the qualities is that you do not have a lot of fall off to the sides and to the back over here. So if you if you have a model in this 45-degree angle, you see the nose is correctly exposed, while the ear and the hair, which are much more in the background and much more way off to the side, they are still correctly exposed. There's not a big fall off, which basically means you can shoot models in strange poses, strange angles. You can shoot models with interesting facial features, but you don't end up with ugly shadows like an ugly nose shadow or anything. It's very good and flexible, this sort of lighting setup, and at the same time it's still three-dimensional. If you have a look underneath her chin and over here at the cheek, there are some sort of shadows, so it does, or the dimension, it does read. And over here you've got highlights on the nose, but it's all so subtle that, it's just beautiful. It will never distract no matter what pose she's going into. See over here the reflection on her hair. That is just awesome. So let's dive into it and let's have a look how it's actually done. So we have a white wall in the background, and it doesn't need to be a nice wall. In our case, we just used a wall which was roughly painted white. There's a lot of cracks in there and there's no wallpaper, but it really doesn't matter. The model is standing in front of the wall, and the main light is coming through a big shoot-through umbrella above, or front above the model. It's pointing towards her face at 45 degrees. And as a light source, I use the speedlight guide number 58 on 1/4 of its power. The fill light is coming from a silver reflector. Silver because I want to have a lot of fill, as much fill as possible. The reflector is roughly at 45 degrees pointing towards her face. And the angle of this reflector, it will determine how much or not so much fill light we actually have. So it's worth experimenting a bit. In my case, I had the light stand over here and the reflector was on the lower end, laying on the table, and the upper end was leaning against the light stand so that it kept staying in this angle. The camera is shooting through the crack between the umbrella and the reflector. And my camera settings were ISO 320, a bit higher, because I didn't want to stress this one single speed light too much, which is delivering all the light for this scene. And f8 to have a little bit of depth of sharpness to show you really how the light is behaving in and around her face. The distances are very small, so this is set up which fits into a very tiny small space. The model is just 3 feet away from the wall, and the main light is just 7 feet high, or on a 7 feet light stand. So that is pretty compact, and it's really good. One quality is, for instance, that you don't need an extra light for the wall. Of course, there are shadows happening because there's one strong main light, and that is hitting our subject. She's throwing shadows, but the shadows are below, or they are going down. They're not really attached to her body, so it's always looking great. Alrighty, so that's it for today. I hope you will have fun with this lighting setup. Try it out and click the like button and the +1 button on this video. Come back the next time. I wish you a lot of fun with this particular lighting setup. I wish you good light.